with home service companies, when you look at it, you really need to make sure that you're doing 40 to 60% of your budget is going towards actual branding of your business in the area. Well, we'll make some content for them on how they can clean their own gutters then, because otherwise they're going to call a company that does do gutter cleaning. And then that person is going to probably sell them a roof as well.
Can you talk to me a little bit about what truly makes you all different in this space?
Yeah, so really what makes us different is...
So let's just jump right into it, bro. I mean, hey, LMH, I love you guys. You got a great crew of people. For people who don't know you, Danny, I mean, I've got a chance over the last year, I feel like since RoofCon, maybe last year, something like that. What do y'all do over there?
It was really IRE. It was the first time I sat down and talked with you at IRE when it was here in Dallas.
That's right. Fill us in, man. I mean, LMH, what are you all up to nowadays? You did my website, beautiful job. What are you all doing over there, man?
So we focus on doing websites, SEO, and paid ads for contractors, whether that be plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical, roofing, or landscaping. Those are the only ones that we work in right now, as far as for contractors go. And actually, we only work with contractors. So, but yeah, so we do that. And when I say paid ads, what I mean is we do more of a holistic approach, because when you look at advertising, there is the digital aspect to it of getting direct response from PPC or from Facebook ads or any of those different direct response ones. And then you also have your branding. And so with home service companies, when you look at it, you really need to make sure that you're doing 40 to 60% of your budget is going towards actual branding of your business in the area. So we also do radio, television, and billboards.
Wow. Okay. So you're an all-in-one type of solution for these individuals, right?
Yeah. To help them with their advertising and then digital marketing is concerned.
I've had a chance to walk through with your team personally the onboarding process. Can you talk to me a little bit about what truly makes you all different in this space between you and, let's just say, one of the 100 other marketers that are trying to get their business?
Yeah. So really what makes us different is that we actually truly care about our customers and we're focused on the results. So instead of just telling you, oh yeah, we got you 8 more keywords and your impression share is this, it's no, did you get phone calls?
Yeah.
And we actually get access to all of our CRM. So like with roofing companies, I'm going through Job Nimbus or AccuLinks, and we actually match up the phone call and phone record to show you what your true ROI is from what we're doing. And so it makes a big difference when they can see the dollars that are actually coming in from what they're doing, instead of just, yeah, we got you 83 phone calls this month. Well, yeah, we got a lot of spam phone calls is what somebody will say back to you. And it's like, well, we actually have recordings of every single phone call. We have a team who listens to all the phone calls. And we'll also do CSR training for your customer service rep that's answering the phone call, because we find that to be an issue a lot of times at the leads is the way that it's being, the way that they're answering the phone and the way that they're handling the leads. I actually was just listening to a roofing contractor phone call with them, because I was just on a call with them, and they got on and the person's like, oh, hey, sorry, it's a little early. And the guy didn't answer the phone call very professionally. And then the customer is like, oh, I'm sorry, it's a little early. I'll just call you back. I can call you back in 2 hours. And he was never able to recover because he didn't sound professional and like a business when he first answered the phone call, and was never able to recover that lead actually. And the guy asked, hey, I want to get a roofing quote for a brand new roof for my house. Is that something you can help us? Well, yeah. Well, let me, I need to get your name. And it just sounded like the guy just woke up. Yep. And you can't be doing that, because people are calling them. And like I had it, for instance, myself. I have a rental house. It's my wife's old house down in Houston. There was that massive storm in Houston last month, and I had a tree fall into my house. Well, I called about 10 different roofing companies because most people didn't answer the phone.
That's it, man. Yeah.
I just went down their Google Business profile on the map pack and just started calling people. And I got 2 people to answer the phone call. And one of them told me it was a $99 dispatch fee to send somebody out for it. And then the other one said, I could go, hey, it's nearby. I'll go check it out. They told me it was $650 just for an emergency tarp. I said, let's go. I need it done because it's going to rain. So they went through the emergency tarp, and now we're working on the whole roofing process with it because they answered the phone.
Yes.
And they only had like 4 reviews.
Wow.
compared to the other people that I called with hundreds of reviews that didn't answer my phone call at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday.
I did have a question for you along those lines because you've been doing this a long time, man, and helping people to grow their businesses. Talk to me about speed to lead. How do you approach teaching these contractors to reach out and be proactive with these leads? What have you found as the best approach, brother?
So when it comes to speed to lead, it's absolutely the most important thing is being able to be on there. So some of our contractors, like looking at it from a little bit of a different perspective, because I work with plumbing and HVAC contractors as well.
Mhm.
And some of those companies, they answer within 30 seconds. It is a live person. They don't send them into some funnel where it's like press one for this, two for that. Nobody wants to go through that. And so they have somebody who answers the phone within 30 seconds. Hey, this is blah blah blah. How can I make you smile today? And it is,
Oh, I
and
love
I
that.
mean, they have a 90% booking rate of people that call into them. And so because they'll tell them that, hey, we have this dispatch time, and they give them a time frame, and we'll call you back if anything changes. So it's really being able just to let them know and setting realistic expectations with the customer on when you can get there. But the faster that you get there, otherwise, we're in an Amazon world. They're going to go look for somebody else that can ship it to them in a day. So
We
it's that Amazon world of being able to have that speed to get out there. But the way that we go through coaching them is they need to make sure that they're using their CRM correctly. Because if you don't know when you're following up with somebody because it's just in your head versus actually using like Job Nimbus for instance, and you're actually setting it in there and you have a task. All right, I need to call these people. All right, well, I have so many things going on because I've got this inspection going on. We got to go do this repair. We have this roof going on over here. All right, well, what you need to do is set aside a 1 hour time block to knock out your tasks and knock out your calls. Each person, most sales aren't made until the seventh or 12th attempt. That's
yes.
just in general on sales. That's like a general sales number, not just for roofing, but you need to continue to follow up with people because a lot of times they're not dead. Maybe they're just shell shocked about the price that they have to do. You need to continue to follow
Yeah.
up with them.
What are some of the advantages that a contractor has? They might be thinking, who cares that you work in the space, right? You're just, isn't it marketing? I mean, what are some of the advantages that you have and that you found by really being involved in the trades as opposed to one of these big boys that's out there that a contractor might be considering?
So one of the main advantages is actually understanding what works. Because we work with so many in the same industry, it's like if a roofer that also works in HVAC, it's like, all right, well, what do they really know about the roofing aspect of it?
Mhm.
Because they have HVAC, plumbing, insulation, generators, they do every single piece of it. Versus most of them are going to be one trade specific of a company, unless they are a massive company. And so it we're able to see what's happening, what works inside of those, and what's really pushing the needle. As well as when it goes to creating content, you understand how to talk to the customer, and because this is what converts. It doesn't convert to do this thing. This is what actually converts. This is what's important when it comes to SEO. Like for instance, a lot of people are focused on getting the rankings to number one in the links below. The number one thing is your Google Map Pack. Most people don't make it past
Yeah.
there because you have the LSAs, then you have PPC, and then you have Map Pack, and they stop. You have to do 3 scrolls to get past there. So
Yeah.
making sure that you're understanding actually what's important and understanding the customer's goals, because with contractors their goal, number one goal, is to be getting calls and leads, and those leads can come through multiple ways, and then it's like setting up, all right, is there other automations if you can't answer the phone that we can do so it can reach out to the customer, but those customers still want to talk to somebody because it's a big deal for them, especially when it comes to roofing. It's a not inexpensive if you're doing a retail roof. I mean, they're spending $10,000 plus, and so they want to make sure that they're working with somebody good.
Yeah, I love that saying you said earlier. What can I do to make you smile today? I
Hmm.
mean, that just rings because for me, I mean, listen, I mean, I call roofing contractors. We get leads come in from roofing contractors, thanks to you a lot of times, the website and stuff, and I'll call them up. And then I get some guy, I can tell or lady over in India. It's not there in their office. I'm trying to speak to someone and reach someone there. And there's nothing, I imagine being a customer, Danny, and I'm just frustrated because I need something right now. I know you're not in the office. You're not really an employee. And I just feel frustrated right then. I'm hanging up the phone and I'm dialing on to the next person if you can't help me the person who answered the phone, or get me somebody that can. And
Yeah.
that's a viable lead. You're losing because the person answering the phone can't help them right then. Like you said, it's an Amazon society. I couldn't agree with you more. I feel like that individual's moving on immediately to find someone else.
Yeah, they're going to go to somebody who's going to be able to take care of them and make them feel like they're being taken care of. Even if you can't take care of them exactly at that time, it's about setting the correct expectations. It's the same thing that you need in life in general. If you have upfront expectations and you know to expect it, people just don't like surprises. And so that's where it's like, if you're able to have good communication and people understand exactly what the process looks like. And that's why having the process on your website is important, just like we did on your website.
Yep.
They can see exactly what the process looks like of every single piece that they're going to go through. So that way they understand upfront, here's what it's going to look like.
Yep. One of the things that I was really happy about what you all did is you walked me through the process of the website. What has worked, what has not worked previously. You left the decision to us and said, hey, these are the advice I can give you. The ultimate decision is yours, but this is what we've seen in the market for what you do. Another thing that you did for me, I want to allude to is, and I want to give you credit because you offered me a payment plan on this thing. And not a lot of companies will do what you did. And so you offered these terms that allowed me to be comfortable moving forward with you. And I can't tell you what that's meant to my company. So personally, I want to say thank you to that.
Yeah, and that's the reason we started doing it, was because most of the businesses that we work with are small businesses, and cash flow is the heart of any business. And so it doesn't, it's actually, it's great. It's beneficial for both parties because we have to pay salaries, which are a cash flow thing. You guys have to pay salaries, which is a cash flow thing. And so if you can break it down over time so that it makes more sense for everybody, then it just helps everybody all around.
Tell me a little bit, man, what is going on for in the world of video, the Sora thing that ChatGPT OpenAI is coming out with here probably in the next year is gonna change the way people do video. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. But can you speak to what some of the things and trends that you're seeing that maybe you're taking advantage of? I don't want you to, give away the recipe over here, but maybe some things that contractors should be aware of as they look to hire a company like yours or work with a company like you.
So one of the things that just comes to the top of my mind, like I mentioned earlier, is about your Google Business Profile. So Google has launched Gemini, which a lot of people have heard of Bard, which was their SGE, or Search Generative Experience, which is essentially AI. It's a large language model like ChatGPT. And so Gemini is the new piece that's showing up, and that's why it'll be like AI summary is what it says now. Sometimes when you go to look at and you search something, normally it's informational stuff.
Yep.
But what's happening is you'll notice in some of those now when you do local searches that they actually include map pack stuff in there, which tells us that into the future, as they continue to go into doing more AI based searches, the map pack is still going to be important. So getting reviews. I recommend that if you're doing even an inspection for somebody, ask them for a review about the inspection.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going out there, you can also get reviews just for character reviews from your friends, because review velocity is something that's important as well. How many reviews are you getting on a normal basis? You can talk to friends, colleagues, things like that. Hey, could you leave us a review about our business? And they could leave a review that just says, great company, trustworthy people that work there. Well, that's something that they know, and it's a character review. It might not be a customer review that's talking about how you replaced their roof or you did a great job on their gutters, whatever it might have been that you did for them. And then making sure that you're also doing pictures inside of there and videos. If you can have your customers while you're there, just pull out your phone and get them to talk about or pull out their phone, ask them if you can hold their phone and just make a little video. Hey, I had Steve come out to my place today. He was great. He did a full inspection. Actually, he was so trustworthy. Everyone else was saying that I needed to get my roof replaced. He told me I still have 2 to 3 years and the claim might not go through. And I really appreciate that. I'm going to be calling them the next time the storm comes through.
Heck yeah.
That's just showing how trustworthy you are, and it's coming out of a customer's mouth, and then they upload that with their review. But yeah, coming down the pipeline, it's going to be that search generative experience and how that's going to change the way that people search. But as far as for local business, the map pack is still going to be very important for it. They're still going to be putting links and ads into there because Google lives off of ad dollars. But they still have 90% of all searches, so 90+% of all searches. So that's one thing to think about as it continues to go forward.
I got a question for you, man. What about this? Because I've been thinking about this as I do searches and stuff lately. We'll have a contractor that comes up, so I'll look up the roofing company in Google, right? And I'll see some of our clients that'll pop up underneath that sponsored section
Mhm.
right there. I again, I'm going to throw something in. You haven't talked about this before. I feel like that section is dying. I feel like people look at that section a lot and they go, "Okay, they paid to be there. Let me just skip down below to the next section right here." You have a lot more knowledge about this. Am I way off? Is there something to what I'm saying? Is the consumer more educated? Talk to me.
So you're talking about PPC links that are up top.
Yeah,
And the PPC links, they still work, but so that's why SEO is so important, because most people are going to skip it. But you still
I
have your
do.
3 to 5% of the market that's going to click through on those, and you're still going to be able to make money on them. And then you have local service ads, which are now above those actually for local searches, and that's pay per lead, and those work really well, and you have a great return on investment from those majority of the time.
And I
One thing
like
to think about with those pieces, though, is that the reviews and everything that go and get you into the top there, it's a lot about review velocity and what you have going on in your Google Business Profile. Again, it plays through directly towards those, versus PPC is more expensive, and that's paying per click versus paying per lead, and you can dispute the LSAs or local service ads or Google guaranteed, whatever you want to call them. There's so many different. There's like 3 different names that people call them by.
it's the three, right? That's what it is, like the three
Yeah,
pack.
it's the 3 contractors at the top, and it just has like a call button next to it or a message button next to it.
In your Google My Business, your profile, I'm not sure how long it has been there, but they do allow you to connect your social media profiles. I've
Mhm.
seen this for mine, and Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, those things. How do you believe, or do you have any knowledge about how those are linking up with your, let's call it your productivity, or how well you're ranking on Google?
So the social media, I think that Google posts are going to go away, and they're going to start showing more actual social media stuff on there so that they can keep more eyes on Google. But yeah, so it was August of last year, I believe, is when they started allowing you to link your profile directly into your Google Business Profile, and that's really, it's more of a credibility factor, because then they can go from there and they can go look at your social media as well. When you're seeing things come in on a keyword basis, what you'll notice is sometimes when you do a search, you'll notice that they actually are highlighting and bolding words that are from reviews. And so your reviews, if people are leaving keywords in your reviews, they'll bold those pieces or service areas or those sort of things. They'll bold that part of the review for somebody. Um, and so that's important, is asking them to leave specifics about what they actually did.
I think that it's going to be very important you bring up that point, and how a contractor asks for the review. If you're looking for a specific response, I think asking the question appropriately to get the right response is going to be key.
Yeah. So I just looked something up. Am I able to share my screen on this just to kind of show
Uh,
you real quick?
let's see what you got, man.
I just looked up best roof repair Dallas as a word. These are the LSAs, or the Google guarantee that I'm talking about, that show up at the top. But
Yep.
as you can see here, I put best, and so it says best practices is what it pulled in for this one
Ooh.
at the top. And like if I was just to change this back to just roof repair Dallas, this is a PPC ad actually right here.
Hmm.
But it's linked to their Google Business Profile. So this is like the other links that you used to see up top. It's probably not showing me the links right now just because of how many searches I do. But then it's showing that they provide roof repair, and this is pulling these out of their services that they say that they're doing on their page.
Wow.
And
That's
so
such a great example right there.
it's bolding those pieces, and then you also see some people that do it off of schema. I'm trying to see if somebody comes up with the stars underneath their link below. But those are some of the things. Like if I looked up best roofing company in Dallas, Yelp is running a PPC ad. K-Post, which is a massive company here, is running a PPC ad, and then you get into the organic Google Business Profile ads.
So that's what you're referring to right now when you talk about these reviews and these words that people are
Mm-hmm.
using in the reviews. That's so key. I mean, wow, what a difference right there, but it's subtle, but yet very important.
Yeah,
Um,
and also pictures and videos are going to be the ones that are normally when people go to look at reviews. Whichever one have pictures and videos, Google's going to move those to the top when they put most relevant next to a keyword.
I have so been bad about this, Danny. So like we have all these behind the scenes photos. We're all the time on shoots with contractors. I thought about the other day. I'm like, I haven't updated my Google My Business in like 3 weeks with new pictures. And I'm like, I have them all. They're right there available on my phone. We take them all the time. But I've been screwing that up. And I think a lot of contractors fall into that arena, bro. They're out there. They do before and afters. Maybe they do a picture with the customer, but you got to get that up there to your Google My Business. You got to get it up to your profile.
Think of it like a social media platform that like Google wants to see activity on it. So if you're uploading pictures on a normal basis, that's activity. The posts are we haven't seen a jump in rankings based on the posts, but it's still showing activity and that you're actually on and that you're in business. Because Google wants to, their main thing that they're trying to do is give their searcher the best experience and get them to answer the fastest that they're looking for. And so they know that people that answer the phone, because every single phone call that goes to your Google business profile as well, Google records all of those. Not actually the phone that, I mean, they have call history, but it's going away in July. And when I say call history, that's like actually phone numbers and everything. It's not going to take away how many phone calls did you get. But Google knows if you're answering the phone. So they want people who are going to answer their phone for their customers. So it gives them the best experience as well. So that's another thing that'll push you down. Same thing with LSAs. If you're not answering your Google guaranteed LSA calls, it's going to push you down as well because Google wants to give the best experience possible.
I want to ask you this: with all this information, there's a lot right there, Danny, for somebody who's just trying to run a contracting business or a plumber, HVAC. So it can seem a little bit overwhelming. When you all step foot in front of one of these guys, how do you start this process out? Are you doing like I don't know, you're kind of looking at everything and you're going to say, okay, we're going to come to you with this pack based on what we see. How do you start this process so that, because my anxiety goes up just hearing about it all. All right. Thank God I've been able to find you all because you brought my anxiety down, but help me out. How does it start for a contractor, brother?
So for a contractor, first, what we're going to do is go through a discovery call. And we're going to ask a ton of questions because we want to understand what your goals are, what your business is like, where you're looking to go, and what's been working best for you already, because different areas, different things work as well. It's not just blanket across the entire United States. Everything works exactly the same. And so we're going to go through, understand their business, understand what their goals are, and then who their top competitors are that they think their top competitors are. Because a lot of times who they think their top competitors are in their area are not who they're competing with online due to the way that their company's been set up online. And so understanding who their top competitors are. And then we go through after that and we do an audit on all of their stuff. And then we do research on it as well. And based off of the research and audit that we go through of every single piece of their digital presence and then what their top competitors are doing, normally we look at about 5 competitors in the area that are the top ones. That's how we're going to then say that this is probably going to be the best package for you based on this, because to catch up to this company, Roofers RS, I'll just use that. They have 115 pieces of content that is ranking in the top part of Google right now, and you have 5 pages. We're going to need to be on this package so we can build out all of this content so that way we can start chipping away at those rankings. Because if somebody's moving up in the rankings, that means somebody's moving down. And so it's constantly trying to get ahead of where they're at. And then also what kind of links do they have? I'm talking just specifically about SEO.
Yes.
When it comes to paid ads, it's like, all right, well, what does it look like? What do the landing pages look like of where it's going to be going? And there's something called conversion rate optimization. So after we have the campaign running with the keywords, we're getting the traffic there. Well, we want it to convert. So now we have to look at the landing page and where are you sending your leads to? Are they just going to the homepage? And then somebody has 10 million different things that they're looking at? Or are you sending it to a specific thing that's talking to their specific issue or problem that they're having with calls to action throughout it, so that way they can convert when you answer the question and they feel like they can trust you? Because on average, most people, when they're looking for a contractor, they're going to read a minimum of 10 reviews. Do you have reviews easy for them to see on the page that you're sending them to? Because they want to make sure, going back to Amazon again, I don't know about you, but every time I go to buy something on Amazon, I look through the reviews of what is this product like? How has it helped people? And I'm going to look at the top ones. I'm going to look at the bottom ones too.
Yes.
And what has your customer service been when things go bad?
Yes. I think that's a big mistake that contractors make is that they look at that 1-star review or that 2-star review, looking at it as a complete negative. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but there is an opportunity in the response that you have to that individual to show an informed customer, especially your analytics that are out there who will read it.
I actually was just looking at this, like, I don't know, about an hour ago, of a plumbing company that got a 1-star review. They responded to the person, and the person then changed their review again to say the way that you responded to my review, which his response was really well, was really good. It was a plumber.
Yeah.
And then what did I do? I clicked on her profile and I went through. Out of the 50 reviews she's left, only 4 of them have been positive. She is a negative person who
Yep.
is going to do this to any company that she feels like. And he did his job, and her insurance didn't approve what she wanted.
And
And so he said that, and she's like, when she edited, you put my insurance information and all of my stuff on blast. And it was like, no, this is really what happened. You left a 1-star review. And
yeah.
I just want to make sure that everybody understands what happened in this process, because he only has 1-star review. He has 158 5-star reviews.
Wow. We have a company here in Orlando that had 1,000 5-star reviews, one negative 1-star. Like we watched them get to 1,000 at like 998. They got a 1-star review. And I was there when he got it, and they couldn't have done anything more for this guy. I mean, couldn't have done anything more. And then you have the people, get this. They did a veterans roof giveaway. They gave the roof away. This is in Kansas City, large roofing company. They gave the roof away, and then the guy left them a 2-star review. And they're like, are you now? He went back and changed it. But I'm thinking to myself, because they want to give him free upgrades. That was the reason. He felt like he deserved the free upgrades. And they're like, we're giving you the free roof. We're not doing the free upgrades. And I just thought to myself,
Want to get into
Lord.
an entitled society.
Yeah.
We can talk about that too.
Well, I want to ask you a couple more questions, and we'll wrap it up here, man, because there's so many great information. I could talk to you for hours. You know that. I want to ask about underrated positions right now, underrated stuff. So are you seeing anything online that you're seeing? And again, you don't have to give away the secret recipe, but maybe something contractors are not taking advantage of. It might be simple. They're overlooking it. Give me some value here of what you're seeing in your world.
Underrated, I would say, is doing video content on social media.
Hey, okay. Well, yeah. Thank you. Throw me a softball there.
It is very underrated as far as what they can do, between having professional video done, where you want to have your professional videos. And then also, we all have 4K cameras right here in our pocket.
Yep.
They can be used to your advantage. And I was talking to somebody else earlier today, a roofer, and I was like, he told me that he was doing an inspection, and he'd call me back. I said, hey, make sure that you put your drone up while you're on the roof, and make sure that you take pictures of what you're doing. And maybe even say, because he told me a little bit about the job, and he was reflashing in a skylight that somebody else just put a bunch of silicone around. And I was like, hey, what you should do is like, hey, here's a before and after. Here's what happens when you hire somebody that's inexpensive, or that's the cheapest person you can find. And then this is what it should look like when it's finished. You should have something like this that's going to stand up to the weather. And that's why we're somebody who has blah, blah, blah reviews, is because we want to make sure that we do everything right the first time. How easy is it to do that with your phone, and you just do it throughout multiple different shots throughout you doing a repair?
Yes. I was looking at where I can go on Facebook and I can look at the ads that everybody's running for roofing, like by keyword, right? It's, real simple to do. Now, I just haven't done it previously. I just wanted to see what everyone was looking at, okay? Boy, man. If you've got some decent content and someone that can speak the language decently on the copy, you can stand out. I think that roofers would be shocked if they think their stuff is bad. There's some bad stuff being ran by roofing contractors and by other contractors out there. I did a keyword for roofing. I was like, it looked like a third grader for some of these had made it. Boy, sometimes I got to admit, it's not the marketer. It's you're putting together bad content. You're showing your company in a bad light. And I don't think that's given enough credit, but I saw some weird stuff.
Well, another thing going to social media as well that people don't do is they think that I just need to always advertise. It's advertised. People come to social media for two things. They want to be educated or they want entertainment. So
Yep.
make entertaining content or make educational content that you can put out there. But also, one other caveat to that is most people are always recruiting. You're recruiting for people to come in. Show what your company culture is like, because it's not only like possible recruits that'll see that, but also customers want to know that you treat your employees well too. They want to work with people that are good, that are good companies. They're willing to pay more when it's a good company. And they can see that through your social media, through the way that you're doing stuff in the community. You have a softball team for your company that you do. You're doing a picnic for your company. It's this person's birthday, and you're actually shouting them out versus just putting out Happy Memorial Day, Happy 4th of July,
On
and you're
Canva.
making some graphic on Canva. Like, nobody wants that. Let them know, hey, here's 5 things you can do to help ensure that the life of your roof is going to last longer.
Yeah.
Here's the easy way to clean your own gutters. Like,
I
we
think
don't
one
do
of the
gutter cleaning.
undervalued.
People will make some content for them on how they can clean their own gutters then, because otherwise they're going to call a company that does do gutter cleaning. And
Yep.
then that person is going to probably sell them a roof as well.
Yeah, and a maintenance package.
Yeah.
Solidifying the decision. So I think what you were just talking about with recruiting and showing, I think one of the things that people overlook is knowing that the people have a physical presence in my area. And when I'm
Mhm.
looking for somebody that I have my like a contractor or a company that I don't know if I should trust. I like that local presence when I see that on their pages. It solidifies my buying decision.
It's a trust or a credibility factor.
Yeah.
Um, it's just like on their website of having trust and credibility factors, having those reviews on your website so that they don't have to go through and click to go find them another place. Having the associations that you're a part of, that you're part of this chamber of commerce, and you have a credibility bar showing what you're a part of, or that you are GAF certified or Owens Corning premium contractor. Those sort of things are credibility factors. And so they're looking for trust because everybody's heard about a bad contractor. But also one thing that I looked at that I don't recommend putting is somebody had rated there on their header image for a roofing company that I looked at today. They said, no, nobody wants to work with a bad contractor. Well, that was the first thing that I saw when I came to your page. So automatically I'm thinking bad contractor.
That's right.
Like, you want to make sure that you do have those credibility factors that are out there. And like you said, it's that you feel like, all right, these guys are local to where we're actually at. And that also made me think of companies that think that it's better to run your Google business profile with no address because you're a service-based business versus having an address, even if
Nope.
you're paying $150 a month to have a desk and an address at some co-work space. Now you got to be careful with that because you won't show up if there's other service-based businesses in that same building too. So if you go to a place and you get a Google business profile at, let's call it Varied Desk or whatever you want to call the place. And there's also a fencing contractor that has a place there too, and a gutter company that has a place there too. Well, if you don't have your own suite number for that place, it's going to tell Google that you're competing against these places versus getting a place that actually doesn't have any other contractors in it is going to be way better off for you. But that's just something else that people overlook is that you want to have a physical location because it creates trust. Number one, Google likes it because then it actually gives you a service area that you're based around instead of just a general area of where you might service.
Danny just
Because
dropped
they
the
don't want you.
bombs.
They don't want you going anywhere more than 2 hours away from where your business is. That is that is in Google documentation.
How do people get in touch? Danny, I love you. First of all, I mean, you've been amazing to me and my team from day one. Your entire team has. How does somebody get in touch with you and where do they start the process at? Do they go to your website, fill out a form, contact you directly? I'm going to have Wayne put it right across the bottom right here so people know how to get in touch with you, brother.
Yeah, they can go to our website, lmh.agency. You can also email me directly, danny@lmh.agency. Or if you want an audit of your SEO, if you just go into lmh.agency/SEO, then it's going to bring you to our SEO page. And there's a place where you just put your information in, your website in, and your information. And we'll send you a full local audit of your entire business as well, your whole local presence. So it's going to go over your citations and a bunch of different stuff too.
Danny, you are the man as always. Wayne, put all that stuff across the bottom. Make sure people know how to get in touch. We'll also put it in the description so that people can reach you, Danny. I personally want to say thank you for everything you've done for my company. Behind the scenes, you've been a caveat for me. I've asked you many questions. We've sat down for talks. You've been there through it all. And just talking about BS offline too. So I appreciate it from you, man. You're one of the best there is, brother. Thank you for everything you do.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right, brother.
Always love talking with you, man.
Man, you're a wealth of knowledge, man. I get the most out of it. Come on. All right. Thanks a lot, bro. I appreciate it, man.